Who's played Limbo? You played them all. Okay, who'd have thought a platform game in black and white would be successful? Well, it was. Generated $7 million in revenue. It was very beautiful and fun to play. It's all about the execution of the idea, not just the idea itself. Gourmet Ranch, another game on Facebook, being hugely successful, taking two compulsion loops, not just growing products as in Farmville and not just cooking it as in Cafe World, putting the two together, the crops that you create and the animals that you farm, they go into your restaurant and you make dishes and serve them to AI customers. And this has been really successful game. Minecraft, who's played Minecraft? What, you haven't played Minecraft? Yes. Yeah, extraordinary. And this is kind of retro art in games, 8-bit kind of looking game, and yet monumentally successful because people can make their own real world. The only rule in it is that you have to be underground at night before the monsters come to hunt you down. But 3.5 million people have bought Minecraft at $10 a pop, so Notch Pearson's done a fantastic job there. The thing about these games is that they create very valuable intellectual property. Angry Birds, they've sold over 1 million soft toys now. They've leveraged that IP through merchandising and licensing to get a new incremental stream of income. And the one lady the one piece of IP that I've been associated with all of her life, really acted as a father for her, is Lara Croft. And I'm going to talk to you now a little bit about Lara, the rise of Lara from a sketch on a piece of paper to a multi-million-dollar franchise with movies attached and clothing and theme parks and merchandise, as well as a very significant range of games. So Lara Croft, where did she come from? Well, here's some of the Lara Crofts. So she's gone through time and advances in technology, which is the best thing about the games industry, allows greater art and animation to be put into games, more polygons to play with, and so you get Lara Croft. But a lot of people have claimed to have created Lara Croft. It was in fact this young man called Toby Gard, who was working at our core design studio at the time. He'd been asked to create a new character for the coming PlayStation platform because there was a game called Rick Dangerous at Core, which was available on PC, and as Core tried to make their studio a little bit more legitimate and avoid any potential copyright problems, Toby was asked to replace Rick with a new character. Now, Rick Dangerous was a game all about tomb raiding, about adventure, but the problem with Rick had a slight similarity to a film character whose name I've forgotten. And so Toby was asked to create a new character for the game they were now going to call Tomb Raider. So everyone thought he was going to come up with a male character, but he'd seen Tank Girl, he'd seen Nana Cherry, he'd seen the rise of girl power, and his sketch was this lady here. This was Lara Cruz, but it was felt that Lara Cruz didn't sound particularly English. So somebody went through the phone book and came up with the name Lara Croft, and Lara Croft it remained. Here's an early manga style drawing of Lara until we ended up with this render before she had a ponytail, and she also had suspiciously thin knees. I don't know why. And this was the very first Tomb Raider box for the PC version that was released in 1996. So I'm now going to take you on a little pictorial journey of Lara through the time as she kind of grew up, as it were, and you'll see how the polygon count gets bigger as she moves through PlayStation 1 through to all the 5 iterations of PlayStation 1, and how the world fell in love with Lara into PlayStation 2 and beyond, and all the time the graphic fidelity improving. Here's a kind of a sketch and how she gets into there, and the full art sketch drawing Lara, some of her many costumes, more PlayStation stuff to sort of the graphic fidelity you get these days. And then moving on to Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Some of the screenshots from there. I want to play you Underworld, just to say that over 30 million copies now of Tomb Raider have been sold globally. Add in another $500 million for licensing, for merchandising, and she's still one of the most famous gaming icons today. Why was she so successful? Well, historically children have been playing games, but those children didn't stop, they just got older. And what would they rather play with, a hedgehog, a plumber, or Lara Croft as a young 20-year-old? But without being flippant, it was also a fantastic game, a great character, one of the first games with a 3D character in a 3D world, and beautiful graphics, great gameplay, all the planets were lined up, extraordinary success. So she became a pop culture phenomenon, graced the covers of lifestyle magazines as well as games magazines, appeared in sort of parody in some of the popular press. There was stuff about Lara Croft being nude Lara in Playboy, when Neil McAndrew, one of our ladies who played Lara Croft, did that. So because we had people wanting to meet the real Lara Croft, we needed her for trade shows, we needed to open shops, and of course people wanted to touch that virtual character. So when we launched Lara in '96 at the trade show, I remember interviewing all the girls for the job, and we ended up taking 3 rather than having 1. We went for quantity. And the first girl, the girl on the right with the black hair, she became Lara Croft for the whole year. That's Natalie Cook. The girl with the blonde hair, I have no idea what happened to her. The girl in the middle, just starting her career, became a very famous girl in the 3, a notorious girl, in fact. Does anybody recognize her? Maybe anybody English in the audience might recognize her, but if you don't, it's actually Jordan, before she became Katie Price again. So maybe you've not heard of Jordan, but he has quite a reputation in the UK, put it that way. Anyway, we had Natalie Cook, and then we had Rona Mitra, who went on to become a huge film star in the US. And I'm going to stop here now for a second and tell you a little bit another lesson from life. My lesson in life is do what you're good at. We make games. We do not make records, but we thought we could. Rona Mitra, who was the model at the time, said, look, I'd like to make a record if it's possible. And we said, yeah, no, we said we'd like to make a record. She said, well, I'll sing it. So I remember having a great meeting with Dave Stewart from the Eurythmics, who said he'd write the music. So he said, what I need to do is to go on holiday in the Amazon with Rona for a couple of weeks to get into that whole Tomb Raider thinking, and I'll come back and we'll have an album. So off we went, came back, wrote the songs, heard it, thought, not sure about this. Let's test market it in France first. Didn't do too well. Kind of quietly forgot about it. But you learn from your mistakes, and you should share your mistakes. So I'm going to play you now the Tomb Raider anthem, written by Dave Stewart, sung by Rona Mitra. And there's plenty of space out here, so if you feel compelled to want to dance, just come on up. Here we go. You get the idea. Okay, so then we had Neil McAndrew, who went on to be star of UK television, and then Jill from Holland, and then we had Lucy Clarkson from Leeds, and Jill Young, and went on to a catwalk model in the USA. Karima Adabib, who was brilliant because she could actually speak the part as well as look the part. beauty and brains, surprising combination. Then we had Alison Caller was great, his old bloke with Lara, old bloke with 3 Laras, old bloke with lots of Laras. As we had a reunion party a few years back, and every time there's a new Lara Croft, of course, we had acres and acres of publicity, because everybody wanted a little piece of her. David James, a few little anecdotal stories here. David James was the goalkeeper for the England football team at the time, and he let in 4 really bad goals for Liverpool. And he was interviewed, and the whole back page of the Times was dedicated to the fact that he let in these goals. And he said, well, you know, I just spent the whole night playing Tomb Raider. Prodigy were a year late delivering their album. They said they spent the whole year playing Tomb Raider. And it goes to show the sort of power of intellectual property. It builds over time. All these companies you see here are all very well known in themselves. They've got amazing products. And yet they wanted to use Lara Croft to help promote their products, which is good for us for 2 reasons. 1, they gave us money, thank you. And 2, they were promoting Lara Croft as much as they were promoting their own products. So Lucozade, I don't know if it's available here, but it's a very popular fizzy drink in the UK, and they got 11% annual sales increase by using Lara Croft, and they did it for 3 significant campaigns. There's quite good social comments in looking at those adverts way back when, and I'm going to show you them now because they're informative and at the same time amusing. Where's my sound man gone? He keeps dying on me. And then they used live action in the next campaign. And then they used a hybrid of live action and
Oh, Lucozade! That's lovely. Oh. Spartacus! Boris! I'll give you what